This is a video on how to mold the SnoreRx thermoplastic dental appliance to your teeth. And what I have here are 2 coffee cups. They're about 3/4 full. It's not really important just as long as the water level inside covers the dental appliance. Now this is going to be our hot or boiling water cup. This is going to be our cold or cool water cup. And if it makes you feel good, just put a piece or 2 of ice in there. I know it's kind of, contradictory to try to think of sticking something that's going in boiling water and then dumping it off and sticking it in your mouth and it'll be okay. The thing of it is that thermoplastic, by its nature, it absorbs heat very slowly and it gives away heat very slowly. And that's one of the principles that makes this molding process work. As opposed to water, even small droplets of water in here, even a small droplet of water that's boiling when it touches your skin, it's going to burn. So this process of taking the dental appliance from a boiling cup of water and sticking it into a cool or cold cup of water, what that does is you're simply washing off the water, the hot water droplets that have a greater potential to burn you than the thermoplastic. I mean, the conductivity of the thermoplastic is probably 100 times less than water, so there's very little danger of getting burned here. It's the droplets, it's the water itself, which you need to make sure you basically wash off in the cool cup. So when the boiling water is hot and you have the appliance in here, it's heating up slowly. That's why you need to leave it in for 30 seconds. And then you pull it out and you dip it or wash off the hot water. Okay. During this time, this appliance heats up very slowly in this cup. And when you put it in this cup, it's not going to cool off very fast. But those water droplets, the ones that have the potential to burn you, go away really quickly. They get washed off. And at this point, right here, once you wash off the appliance from the boiling hot cup, now you're ready to put this in your mouth and apply your pressure to it and form your teeth into the thermoplastic. So what I'm going to do is go through the entire process where I heat up this cup to boiling, dip it in, okay, count to 30, and I might set the timer on the microwave here to be precise. Once that's off, I'm going to take out the appliance carefully because it'll be hot, and if you grip it too tight, you're going to be getting little grip marks in the thermoplastic. Putting it in the cold, just dipping it in, not very long, probably a second or 2. Take it out, and then I'm going to put it in my mouth and form the impression of my teeth into this. So I'm going to go through that process right now. Okay, you can hear the microwave running in the background, and the water is nice and boiling. I'm going to set the timer on the microwave to 90 seconds or 1.5 minutes. And then here comes the appliance. I'm going to take the appliance and drop it in to the boiling water. And what you saw there when it was boiling wasn't the boiling water, it was the air expanding, because the SnoreRx has little compartments and little bitty spaces inside, and when you drop it in, so you need to be careful when you drop it in because of what you just saw. We're at 10 seconds on the timer, so what I'm going to do is when I get it out, I'm going to go ahead and move it from here to here, wash off the hot water for about 2 or 3 seconds. And then, now be careful you don't indent the thermoplastic, because it's basically and kind of move it around in the water a little bit. Make sure you get all of the hot water that was in between the cracks and spaces out. So, go ahead and take this out now. And I'm going to put it in my mouth and bite. And usually when I bite down for 30 seconds, but kind of move my teeth around just a little bit. So I'll get back to you in 30 seconds. So that's 30 seconds. And then I'm back. And you can see that it has put an indention into the plastic. This is actually going to take another set. So I'll have to go ahead and boil water again. Stick it in here, move it in here, and go ahead and bite down one more time. This thermoplastic seems to be a little bit more stiff than the original I had 18 months ago. The original I only had to do this once. This seems to be a little bit stiffer material, which is probably fine. It probably holds a set better. But I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process and show you how the indentation looks after the second effort. So we're coming up on the second round. Got the boiling water. Go ahead and drop the appliance in. Careful when you do it. A little bit of air bubbles there, so let that sit and I'm going to set the timer here for 30 seconds. I found on the original one that after you do the initial set, they say 90 seconds. After you do the initial set, it only takes like 30 seconds to do a subsequent set. You wouldn't want to bite down too hard and bottom out that thermoplastic against the tray right away. A couple reasons. First of all, you might not get a good fit. Plus, in order to make the full 18-month life, you're going to have to make some adjustments on this probably about 6 months from now, do it again. And when you do that, you're going to be making a further displacement. If you push real hard and bottom it out now, you're going to be bottoming it out and possibly pushing through the bottom of the thermoplastic when you make a future adjustment. So I don't try to set it all the way to the bottom. I just go ahead and set it so it's comfortable and not really push it with the goal of bottoming out your teeth onto that tray. Just basically form the plastic so it's comfortable with your teeth and just stop right there. Okay, this was longer than 30 seconds because I was talking. Well, here we go. Take it out, drop it into cold water, just dunk it a few times, and in my mouth. So get back. So this is the result of the second fitting, and as you can see, the indentations, and this is why I'm filming this in such crappy light, if that was the question you had when you first started watching this video, so I needed a good contrast light source. Pale light through an open window so you can get a good sense of how this indentation process works into the thermoplastic and kind of what you need to see, you know, in order for this to fit comfortably. So I'm down into the thermoplastic quite a bit, but I'm not bottomed out on it. And like I said, you need to make it fit comfortably, so you bite into it to the point where it is comfortable, and then basically you're trying to maintain that with your teeth, and your goal isn't to, you know, basically bite on it so hard that you're trying to bite through and break the thing in half. So there's kind of a, you know, a halfway point there. And the fallback position is that if it still isn't fitting quite right, just go ahead and make another adjustment. You may have to make 3 or 4 adjustments to subtly get down to the point where you're comfortable. So that shouldn't be an issue that you're afraid of, that you're going to actually do any harm to it. If you go slow enough, this process works fairly well. But you know, if you only have to do 2 to get it to work right, then that's fine. So in general, that's how the process works. And if you have any questions, post them. One other note, this is actually my second appliance. And the first appliance I lasted 18 months. And I have done a review on that. I posted the link in the video as an annotation. So basically, if you look on my website, you'll see a review of this at 18 months to show you basically how when you start with something that has this kind of an impression and you're wearing it, you know, consistently for 18 months. I'm not a tooth grinder, so it shows you how the performance of this lasts, basically, in terms of how they describe the product lifetime, which is about 18 months. So